I just read this morning that you actually grew up being a big comic book nerd.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you read growing up, and who did you want to play when you were a little boy? That kind of thing.
I mean, I think I started with the Marvel superhero stuff. I'm really into Spider-Man and Hulk and X-Men. I think then later in high school more into sort of Frank Miller and Alan Moore. More sort of interesting stuff. I'm not interested. All that stuff is interesting, but stuff that the storytelling is a little bit more sophisticated.
Right. So how familiar? So you're familiar with Ant-Man to some degree in the history?
To some degree, yeah.
Yeah. Were you aware of the history of Yellow Jacket? It's different in the comics.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's totally unrelated. It's pretty much just the word, because Yellow Jacket was just another alias of Hank Pym's when he was a little bit more violent.
Right. Right. So what drew you to this, and what appealed to you most about playing Darren Cross / Yellow Jacket?
I loved the sort of the tension between the image that he was trying to project onto the world of, basically being Lex Luthor, being this big, strong, intimidating, smart, winner, and the very small, pathetic, needy loser that was at sort of the core of his being.
Right. The scenes with you and Michael Douglas are great because you could tell it really comes across how much you want his approval, but at the same time you want to be your own. He wants to be his own man.
Yeah.
And just talk about working with him. He's legendary.
Yeah, no, he's great and so simple. He you show up on set and you just do it, and it's easy. He's such a good listener, and he's so present, and generous. There's just a sort of a simplicity to the way he works, where it's not fraught. There's no sort of sense of trying to work out the method or anything like that. We're just in a room talking, and that was really great to be around.
Now, sadly, you don't get to wear the actual Yellow Jacket costume, right? But what did you have to do to sort of embody that on your own? You still had to do moves, you had to do some training and wire work and things like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they really used my movements for when he's small. So I did several sessions of motion capture where they're just capturing my movements. There's no performance capture, but just to feed that into Yellow Jacket when he's small, and then when Yellow Jacket is large, I'm just interacting with the other actors and with the set in real life, and I'm just wearing like a approximation of the suit just for reference, yeah, it was super fun. It's one thing to do that in a low budget movie where you're like, I hope this looks good. I hope I don't look like an idiot. But when you know that they're the best in the world at what they do, you can approach that with confidence, even though you're in pajamas with pink polka dots all over them.
Right before this opens, The Strain starts season 2. What can you say about that? That first season was you guys did some good stuff for last year.
Yeah, thanks. It's it's more ambitious in scope than the first season. There's a lot of flashbacks, so the scope of the story now it goes spans thousands of years, and we go all over the globe. Of course, we're mostly just in New York in the present day. But there's definitely a sense of, in the first season, there was this sort of outbreak that was sort of sneaking around New York, and you only knew about it if you were paying attention. And now there's no denying it. New York is a battleground.
Thank you very much.
Sure.